Hey there, and thanks for joining us on GamePoints, our weekly get-together where we talk about the past week in gaming news. As you can see, we have the full crowd here today. I am, as always, your host, Stephen Brown. Joining me are Sean Brown and David Smith. Say hey, guys.
That is
Hello.
amazing.
I got through that without
amazing.
stumbling over it?
You just actually did the intro for the first time in a really long time without fucking it up.
I know, it's amazing, isn't it?
I'm proud of you, really.
Tonight we're going to talk about Tokyo Game Show, some Rocket League expansion, the mystery that is Pokemon Go. But first, we're going to kick this off with a topic that's been a running gag almost at this point, and that is the...
My birthday?
Yeah, your birthday. No. The hilarity that is Konami, and all the horrible, horrible things that have just been going on with that. First off, some good news. Those of you who have Metal Gear Solid 5 will be pleased to notice that Metal Gear Online will launch October for consoles and PC to follow in January. No official date on those yet, though it is coming. Normally it was just later in this fall, but we actually have a month now, and that's supposed to be October.
Yeah.
October 6th, actually. I take that back.
Oh, it just doesn't matter to me because I'm
totally
on PC.
overread that. Yeah, you're PC. You don't give a goddamn. Consoles are October 6th. I totally read over that. My apologies.
I'll get there when I get there. I'm super stoked for that game, but
yeah,
party.
I'm kind of lukewarm on it. I don't think I need to play that game online. In fact, I turned the online...
Dude. Okay, so here's how I know.
Okay, apparently
you did not play Metal Gear Online.
People, so we'll listen to what
Oh
you have
my
to say.
god.
No, I did not play Metal Gear Solid 4 Online.
Yes, that's your problem. You're like, oh, I don't need to play this. Metal Gear, why do I want to do that online? Okay, here's the thing about Metal Gear Online. It is not a regular team-based shooter. Even a fucking little bit. You know how when you're playing Metal Gear, things like camo are important and sneaking and capturing stuff? You do all of that in the online mode against other people in real life.
Matter of fact, you get more points for not killing people.
What was the Assassin's Creed game where you could like sneak around on each other?
All
the
of modern ones, yeah. Which was a great multiplayer mode, by the way.
Think more like that.
To like 30.
All right, I'll have to take a look at it.
Yeah, you will.
So great because I mean, there's modes where you're shooting each other, or at least there was in the old game, but it's gonna be so sick.
Good to know. I'll definitely take a look at it then when it comes out. It's free with it. It's just right now when you have it connected to online, the fucking menus slow down ridiculously when you bring up your iJoy and you scroll through that. Having it connected online increases load times to that significantly, so I just completely disconnect from the internet when I'm playing it.
But Metal Gear Online is the actual multiplayer maps, not like
it'll be different.
Your stats cracked. Dude, okay, so first of all, the team deathmatch mode is called Bounty Hunter, and the way it happens is the more kills you get, say like it's a countdown thing, so you get kills and your team scores count down basically. So it's first to 50. But like say I get 10 kills in a row. I now have a 10 counter over my head. And if I get Fulton extracted by the other team, it adds 10 to their score. So now they have 10 more deaths to give up.
Okay, so the better you do, the bigger target you are.
Yes.
Okay.
So if I get Fulton extracted, my score goes to their team. My kill streak.
I will definitely have to take a look at it then.
So
I know so little about it.
It helps you.
That's how we knew. Because you said you weren't excited, and that's just factually wrong.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
The only thing you have to be worried about is what Konami's going to try and do to fuck with it.
Well, they are... funny that you mentioned that, because they may or may not get the chance to actually fuck with it anymore. There are some reports coming about just the disintegration of Konami. We've been hearing about that the past few months, though they just had a recent big blow, and that's that the Fox engine overseer Julian Merceron has quit Konami. He just bounced the hell out. Reportedly because he was dissatisfied with the fact that they're done with AAA development, except for PES. In a report from IGN, and they in turn got it from French site Gameblog, they're the first guys that reported on it. See if this pops up, and if it doesn't, I'll just go ahead and close the window here. There we go. But yeah, this IGN article gets into it. They've since confirmed it independently that he's bounced out. He is done, and that was the brains behind the Fox engine, essentially.
Probably because he's going to have nowhere to work pretty soon.
Well, they're not.
Konami's just a fucking shit show right now, and they have no plans to make anything interesting for a while.
Yeah, for the most part, everyone is reporting that they're done with AAA development. However, Konami has come out and said, hey, we're still committed to AAA, but they won't do it in any official sense. Multiple outlets have reached out to them and said, hey, can we get an on-the-record comment that you guys are committed to this? And for the most part, they said, well, we're not going to say on the record, but we are still committed to it, which to me means They're done with it. They're over.
They're literally going to sit on whatever works with the Falk engine and keep churning out Pro Evolution Soccer games until it stops making them money.
Funny thing about churning out Pro Evolution Soccer games, PES just came out. I think it came out last week, actually. Came out on PS3, PS4, Xbox One, Xbox 360, and PCs. If you bought the PC version, you're fucked, though, because what they did, instead of porting over the newer console versions, the PS4 and Xbox One, they ported over the PS3 and Xbox 360 over to it, which flies in the face of the screenshots they were showing, because they were selling it with the screenshots for the PS4 Xbox One version.
Classic.
And I don't have the webpage to bring up to show you, but here's the biggest kick in the nuts. When you go to buy PES, you can only buy it in a bundle. But there's nothing else in the bundle besides PES. There's no like DLC packs, there's no add-on content, there's not even previous PES. Now take a guess why that is.
I honestly have no idea. That doesn't make any sense to me. How would you buy a bundle of one game?
Because when you sell it in a bundle, you don't see the reviews for that game. The reviews on PC are listed as mixed right now. It's doing very poorly. But so what happened is that Konami then went, okay, we're only going to sell it in a bundle. And when you go click on the bundle, they don't show reviews because there's normally a bunch of things on there. They don't break down every individual review.
Warner Brothers, if you're watching, and I know you are, take notes. This is how you fuck people over.
The fucking review page from being on the front page of when you buy it. It's such a shady dirtbag move.
See, this is how you fuck people over, Warner Brothers.
I'm so upset that they still got my money. And by my money, I mean John's money.
Metal Gear Solid.
So yeah,
we were paying for that one way or another.
It is pretty much just we went hard after Warner Brothers. This is just a whole new level. This is now like you're deliberately fucking people over.
But at least they're doing it in a way that's professional.
Well, no, it's one thing.
At least they're doing it with class.
It's one thing to piss in somebody's soup in the elevator. It's a whole nother to do it at the table.
I can't get over how shady of a move that is. That's so horribly fucked up. And before we leave the Konami topic to move on to other things, we have our first official announced piece of DLC for Metal Gear Solid 5, and no shit, it's horse armor.
You guys remember when DLC wasn't a thing? Let's go all the way back. Remember your Xbox? Remember where you got Oblivion? And Bethesda's like, you guys, we have this new idea where we're going to make you some extra stuff, and we're going to charge you money for it so that your game can be more exciting. Here's our first thing. Horse armor. And it was like
at least 7 or 8 years ago.
And everybody got so outrageously pissed. The
Rightfully
DLC was more or less halted in its tracks for a little while. Let's just go full circle and bring it back. Thanks, Konami.
And Konami blazing the way on this. The only way to go forward is to look behind, apparently.
Does that horse armor come with like 7 extra missions?
No, it's just horse armor. But when your head is shoved so far up your ass like those at Konami, I guess you can only see the past from that point of view.
I picture that episode of South Park when they go to San Francisco and those guys are like farting into wine glasses.
The smug episode. Well, allegedly, and I can't stress this enough, allegedly, the CEO of Konami has gone completely insane. So,
we talked about that because that is a family company.
Allegedly.
There are like four members of a single family that run that company.
Allegedly.
In addition to the board and other things.
Allegedly.
Whatever.
And I do mean they allegedly run it. We don't even know if anything is running it right now. They just allegedly run it. I'm just going to cover all of my legal bases by saying allegedly.
Okay, let's go back. Running in a circle with its head cut off and wherever it lands on.
Let's go back to South Park, and there was that machine that generated sitcoms or whatever.
With the porpoises when they grab the balls and put them over.
Yeah, like the thing where like grab.
Both the chicken and that were references to South Park, by the way.
The thing is, if it's at Konami, it would just be a giant pachinko machine, and they just pull the lever, and the fucking 3 wheels line up, and they're like, "All right, it's going to be Suikoden, a mobile game that is a tower defense. And, they just
And some horse
ram
armor.
it.
We're making it. Put everything in it.
Oh, man. But
It's
yeah,
guys
so...
wearing, like those old-fashioned white wigs and like judge robes and stuff.
Rah.
So yeah,
Damn,
long
man.
story short, just fuck Konami. I mean, it is just... There you go. What a way for a company to go out. With any luck, we will not have to care about them any point now in the future, because they're done. I know I've said that for the past 2 weeks, but hopefully we don't have to keep bringing them up.
Until Metal Gear Online comes out, and then we're going to talk about it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, there's a good chance that might be. Let's see how much they fuck that up.
Konami, just... I've believed in you for so long, and I know you've jumped the shark, and I know you're just a giant flaming bag of shit on a roller coaster typhoon of destruction, but just do me a solid and don't fuck over Metal Gear Online.
I think they're going to. But as much as we love bashing Konami, they are not the only thing that happened last week. In fact, something major happened last week, and that is known as the Tokyo Game Show. This is kind of Japan's equivalent of an E3. I believe it's open to the public, TGS is. I'm not sure on that now that I think about it. But we have a bunch of news coming out from there, and we're going to start off with a bunch of real quick hits, things that were announced real quick, release dates, announcements, things that really don't have a lot of meat to them, but are of general interest. And first off is that Neo, which was supposed to be a PlayStation 3 launch title, has been resurrected from the grave and is supposed to be coming out to PlayStation 4 in 2016. For those of you guys who don't know what Neo is, it was shown during the E3 conference when they announced the PlayStation 3 to begin with. This thing is vaporware, and now it's back suddenly. No one wanted it. No one cared. Either one of you two remember Neo?
Yeah. I remember that trailer and being like, oh, that looks interesting. Team Ninja's doing the thing.
Was that the game where they made fun of the shoot the crab for massive damage? Was it that game?
No, I don't know that. I don't remember that.
Could have been Heavenly Sword. Either way, that's back from the dead. Also announced is that the Project Morpheus, Sony's VR system, it's now PlayStation VR. Simple, right to the
fine
point.
with that.
So, maybe not as big as classy, but remember the thing about VR that's going to get people to sell is name recognition, and you need to have the people who don't talk about this every week like we do actually know what it is. So you call it PlayStation
Also,
VR, pretty fucking obvious what it is.
It makes more sense that Morpheus would be like a code name because, I mean, think of PlayStation Plus, PlayStation Eye, PlayStation...
Yeah, it's all branded Sony.
PlayStation Move.
It fits with everything. We had, for the Resident Evil 20th anniversary, we had Umbrella Corps announced, and that caused a bit of a hullabaloo. It's a tactical shooter where you play the most uninteresting part of all of Resident Evil, the Umbrella Squad.
Whoa.
You don't get to play as Hunk.
No.
There you go. I was like,
that's the line.
there was one mad motherfucker
that where I get to
was
play
with
as
them.
the Umbrella Corps. That sounds cool. That sounds like a really exciting... Oh, I don't get to be Hunk? Oh, it's a team-based shooter where you just shoot other humans, like in every other fucking game, but they threw some zombies in there, which is basically just a mode in Call of Duty. Thanks, Capcom, for not making Resident Evil Outbreak File 3. You dumb pieces of shit. What are you, Konami? Fuck.
All right, David. I didn't know you felt that strongly about it. Sorry. You want to talk about something that completely misses the point of Resident Evil, and that's this right here. It's... I don't get why they keep doing this. What was the Umbrella game, Operation Raccoon City? Did that even do well? Did that justify making a spin-off to this?
That was horrible. That game sucked ass.
I didn't even bother with it. But yeah, people were pissed
There's
off
a reason
about
why
it.
you didn't.
Because think of what you play Resident Evil for.
Yeah, horror and zombies. And that's definitely what
I know that they become kind of action games, but you're still there in like a survival horror-esque sense. And when you're in a team shooter, you know what that's the opposite of? Survival horror.
Yeah. I can get why they're doing this, though, because in Capcom's defense, Resident Evil 5 was their biggest selling Resident Evil, and that was one of the more action-packed ones, which is why they went full action in 6.
I've always noticed that your best-selling game is always after the game that's considered the best in the series.
Well, because it sucks everyone in. So it makes sense. But yeah, I'm sure that we will be getting harder into Umbrella Corps as it gets closer and closer to launch.
I'm going to get softer into that. I'm not down.
And we'll worry about that more later. Some other random bits. PlayStation 4 is going to have a price drop in Japan October 1st. And Xbox head Phil Spencer hinted that there's probably be a smart idea for them to do that here as well. Especially considering they don't have much of a catalog this fall compared to the Xbox One, so they need something to balance that out. It would absolutely make sense for them to drop $50 off the PlayStation 4 before Black Friday.
That's a good idea.
In fact, I would not be surprised if we didn't hear about that at the PlayStation Experience in San Francisco early November.
Oh, yeah.
That would be the perfect time to announce it. GamePoints prediction, a price drop of $50 will be at the PlayStation Experience, which is happening first week of November? Or is that December?
Yes. I think it's December. It's the first week of December.
Okay, I take that back. If it's December, then it makes no sense because they want to do it before Black Friday.
Yeah.
November 1st is when you hear it. There you go. That's what I'm going to say.
Right.
Oh, Paris Games Week. Whenever that is. That's when Sony's doing a big conference. Sean, Statboy, why don't you look up Paris Games Week? Tell me when that's going while I move on.
Statboy.
Statboy.
Other quick hits. Danganronpa 3 announced for PlayStation 4 and Vita. Looking forward to it. I love Danganronpa 1 and 2. Gravity Rush is getting a remaster PlayStation 4 as well as a sequel. It was a Vita darling. The game was really fun. If you had a Vita, one of the ones that I'd recommend owning. King of Fighters 14 is announced. David, you're probably the closest thing we have a fighting game fan. Do you care?
King of Fighters 14 is an important thing to note because it is the return of a 3D King of Fighters. That game is not 2D. Now, the big thing that everyone's going to wonder about is whether or not is going to be a 3D King of Fighters in a 3D space, or if it's going to be more similar to Street Fighter 4, where it's a 3D fighter in a 2D space.
October 28th to the 1st.
That's when, okay. Tokyo Paris Game Show. That is when Sony will announce a $50 price drop. You heard it first here on GamePoints.
Yep. Anyway,
Dead or Alive.
Dead or Alive. Could be cool.
Dead or Alive Extreme 3, that's the beach volleyball one. That's coming spring with PlayStation VR support, which is kind of funny in its own right.
Yeah, dude. Why don't you need that? So you can see them big old cyber boobs.
Tiggle bouncing titties, bouncing up and down everywhere. That's the sole reason why people buy that game, not for them volleyball mechanics. And finally, as far as quick bits go, one of the more unusual announcements, though very unsurprising, we all kind of, I think, expected to get this DLC, just odd where they announced it, and that's that Assassin's Creed's getting a Jack the Ripper DLC. Not surprising in itself, just surprising where it was announced at. Because why would you announce that at Tokyo Game Show? It's just weird.
Why not? Do what you want.
Anyways, we have some stuff that we actually do care about that was announced for Tokyo Game Show, and one of those was Dark Souls 3. Last week we announced that it was getting released in March, and we said probably a couple weeks after, or if not that day for North American release. Well, they announced that it is going to be coming for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC in North America and Europe April 2016. So about a month later or so.
The biggest deal of this, the thing that makes me really excited, is the whole thing that I talked about last week, where Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls come out way later on PC than the console version.
Yes.
This is not the case.
Yeah, it does say PC as well as Xbox One, PS4 in North America and Europe.
PC kids finally get it on launch day.
I had a brief hands-on with it at PAX this year. I feel like it's fixed a lot of the complaints of the second one, where it actually does have the backtracking and exploring of one major city as opposed to here's this hub world and you're going to a bunch of self-contained little worlds. It feels all connected again. In my time with it, I got about like 10 minutes of it before it was like, okay, I don't want to get too into this. So, yes, Dark Souls. I love it. David loves it. Sean, I don't think he's ever given it. Have you ever given any of the Souls games a chance, Sean?
Nope.
I would actually recommend not starting with a Souls game then, but rather starting with Bloodborne, which we also have some more news with. Bloodborne's a lot faster paced, a lot less deliberate, and interestingly enough, it has some DLC coming out. Bloodborne: The Old Hunters, originally planned as 2 DLC packs, it's now going to be combined into 1 expansion, will be coming out this November. I love Bloodborne. David didn't have a PlayStation 4, so you didn't get a chance to play this yet.
Nope, I would like to play it, but it's not coming to PC. I'll have to wait until I get a PlayStation to play it.
This is a Sony-owned IP, so yeah, it won't be coming to PC. It is a fantastic game. I like it better than any of the Souls games. The DLC, go ahead.
I just like the fact that if you get hit, the whole point is to not dodge and collect yourself, but immediately hit the person that hit you to get some life back. I think that's hilarious.
It's a interesting risk-reward mechanic, because if you're getting hit to begin with, there's a good chance you're already in a bad position. So, I mean, it pays to be super fucking aggressive in this game, which is like the exact opposite of any of the Souls games.
Not a good place to turtle.
No. But yeah, Old Hunters will be coming out with 3 new areas, 2 new weapons, and should be on November 24th when it drops. So I'm looking forward to more Bloodborne. I love the whole aesthetic to it. It starts off as a gothic horror game and then devolves into a Cthulhu-esque romp through horrible nightmares.
Excellent.
So yeah, imagine if Castlevania was written by I was about to say L. Ron Hubbard, by H.P. Lovecraft.
Good old From Software.
One of those is terrible.
It's quite a bit different than the Armored Core series.
Absolutely. You know,
I love me some Armored Core, though.
Yeah, but that game's gone really belly up. However, there is a new Armored Core actually coming, but they kickstarted it, and I don't even think From Software is doing it.
Yeah, that's rough. That ain't gonna work out.
So we'll see how that goes.
They'll probably name it some kind of dumb thing, like some company that names things something dumb. What's that company that names things really dumb?
Oh, hold on. It's right on the tip of my tongue, but the thing is, their names are so fucking weird.
Rectangle Hard.
It's Square Enix. You must be talking about Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue, right?
No, I'm talking about Kingdom Hearts HD Roman numeral 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue.
Yeah.
God damn it, Square.
I.8.
It's a horrible name. Now, we talked about last week that Kingdom Hearts 2.9 was kind of leaked on a dude's LinkedIn profile. Not fucking 2 hours later, they come out and go, nope, it's Kingdom Hearts 2, Roman numeral 2.8, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, they got rid of one of the points.
Yeah. Essentially, it's going to come with 3 games. One is a high-definition remaster of Kingdom Hearts 3D Dream Drop Distance, another stupid title.
That was the 3DS game.
That was the 3DS game.
Dream Drop Distance. And then the second one has got a stupid name, too. It's called Kingdom Hearts Cross Back Cover with this weird-looking X thing. It's probably means something to people that aren't me.
It's the X they use in math for a variable asshat.
And
math.
Math sucks.
What's
and
math?
the third piece of content is going to be Kingdom Hearts 0.2 Birthplace by Sleep, a fragmentary passage. That right
Excellent.
there is 3 game titles already. You have Kingdom Hearts .2 is one game title. Birth by Sleep is another game title. A Fragmentary Passage is the third game title. So Square just says, fuck it, let's all combine them into one.
Basically, they had a board meeting, and they're like, what do we want to call this prologue to Kingdom Hearts 3? And they're like, let's call it Kingdom Hearts 0.2. Some other guy's like, let's call it Birth by Sleep. And some other guy's like, let's call it a Fragmentary Passage. I think that sounds dramatic. And the guy at the head of the board's like, fuck it. Cut them up and just put all of them on the box.
This is coming out.
He's a real lean back guy.
I have to wonder if these titles sound far better in the native Japanese.
I doubt it.
No, I don't think so. I mean,
you gotta
maybe
understand, the Japanese, when they hear this in English, gets them hard. They're like, yeah.
It's like when you go into those stores that have shirts that are English, but it's clearly not appropriate English, but they think it sounds cool, so it's good to put on a shirt. That's how they name these games.
It's like the Tokyo Market YouTube thing.
Yeah.
Google it. Tokyo Breakfast, say not Tokyo Market.
Also Google Wolfbang.
Anyways, the point is, all this stupid-ass spin-off shit is just killing my enthusiasm for the Kingdom Hearts franchise in general. You want to talk about a series that's just jumped the shark is this thing. They have gone so weird with this expanded story that it makes Metal Gear look like a fucking children's book as far as its plot goes.
Well, just think about it this way. Remember when Kingdom Hearts 2 happened? You were like, oh man, this is cool.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to be a thing. How many games have been released between 2 and 3?
Well,
what is this, fucking Street Fighter?
No, hold on. Let's think here. You have no, that Game Boy Advance one was between 1 and 2, but there's a mobile one that apparently is actually plot relevant. SMB88, by the way, says Demon Castle Cross Rondo Blood is also a very stupid name. So this isn't the first time that a Japanese company has named something stupid, and I absolutely agree with them. But so you had the mobile Kingdom Hearts game, you had a DS Kingdom Hearts game, you had the 3DS one, which was Dream Drop Distance. You have I want to say there's 2 more, and I just can't think of them right now because I just don't fucking care about the spin-offs. Just give me Kingdom Hearts 3.
There's a lot.
The point is, it's fucking retarded. We've gone.
Do you remember
dumb.
358 and a half days? That was a stupid name.
That's right. That's what it is. And there was also shit.
Well, Birth by Sleep was a game.
There's the ones that came on Kingdom Hearts 1.5 remaster and the ones that came on 2.5 remaster, and that's 4 games right there because each one of those had 2 separate things. And all of it's plot relevant. That's what's fucking stupid, is that they spread it out over all these systems that anyways, I'm rambling at this point.
What do you swear?
Just give us Kingdom Hearts 3 and be done with it. In fact, I'm willing to let the franchise go away by now. Side tangent, Haley Joel Osment is really fat now.
Wait, what?
The voice of Sora is Haley Joel Osment.
I know who Haley Joel Osment is. That kid sees ghosts or whatever.
Is he still playing him?
Yeah, as far as I can tell. I watched a movie that had him in there recently, and he is just...
Dude, wait, no,
chubby.
isn't that the guy from The Hangover?
No, that's Seth Rogen.
Like, damn.
Isn't it? Yeah. Anyways.
Things have gone bad for that kid. The ghosts really took their toll.
Enough of Kingdom Hearts. I think I'm done with the franchise. I don't even think I care about Kingdom Hearts 3 anymore.
Okay, let's talk about a new thing then.
Let's talk about something that we do care about, and that is Persona 5, which unfortunately has been delayed.
Damn it!
So I'm pissed off about it. It was announced to be released before the end of this year. I didn't think that was going to happen, but I wanted to believe, and they announced at TGS that, yeah, we're delaying it to summer 2016, as well as launched a new trailer. Persona, a very Japanese-style RPG set in modern day.
Super Japanese.
If you're not into that culture at all, if you think things like Dragon Quest and everything suck, or that Japan is just really weird, I would not recommend Persona. Though, if you can get over the insanity of that is their culture,
dude,
the game
insanity
is
the
fantastic.
best part.
Yeah, I mean, if you
games are just
can
so
embrace
ridiculous.
it's fun.
Keep in mind, all the cutscenes are like fully animated, so it looks really good. And the gameplay itself of the Persona games has always been what brings me back to them.
Absolutely.
I mean, Persona 3, in order to activate your spirit power or whatever, you whip out a spirit gun and shoot yourself in the face.
The symbolism
that is a
is very
thing that happened in one of these games.
They can be a bit grindy, both Persona 3 and Persona 4, which are the ones people are most familiar with. Very few people played 1 and 2. They're all very grindy to a degree, not as bad as you would see in some other Japanese RPGs, but they're very entertaining. They're modern day, it's a unique setting, and the stories are actually pretty goddamn entertaining. In addition, these games have a fantastic cast, normally, of people that you actually legitimately care about. Also,
did you catch the Mario 64 jumping on paintings bit?
I saw that. I don't know what's going on with that, but I'd like to look into it. I know that you play bank robbers in this, and that's about it. Like, you're a bunch of high school bank robbers.
Now you know all the details.
That we know of, yeah. You know what we know.
There's going to be way more details. It's going to be weird. Real weird.
But yeah, Persona 5 delayed until summer 2016, so another 7 to 8 months, if I had to guess, before it comes out in the States. Expect it here August, if I had to predict.
Although a beginning of the summer release would be very, very nice for that game.
SMB88 says, honestly, we need another over-the-top... Hold on, let me reread that again. I totally fucked that up. Honestly, we need another over-top view Zelda RPG. The Japanese RPGs are great, but overdone. The 3DS Zelda, the one that just released, maybe not the one that just
sequel to Link to the Past.
Yeah, that's fantastic if you haven't had a chance to play that, by the way. So I would like to take a look at that. The Wii U one looks like they're trying to ape Elder Scrolls. So we'll see how that goes. Anyways, let's move back across to America as far as something goes and talk about, or maybe not America, it could be English, but it's a Western developer, I should say, and talk about something that caught my eye, and that's Rebel Galaxy. Now, Rebel Galaxy
doesn't look like too much at the moment.
No, if you take a look at it,
it's not the prettiest game you've ever seen in your life.
It definitely looks clunky at first, but I like the idea of a space combat game where you're not flying around in a fighter, but you actually have like a ship with turrets. And if you could hear the trailer right now, it actually has kind of a Western vibe to it, so it reminds me a lot of Firefly. But essentially, it's an open world RPG where you're going around and, well, being Malcolm Reynolds, essentially. So I'm looking forward to it.
Now, the cool thing is some of the people who are working on this game happen to be people that are coming from Torchlight and also Diablo.
Yeah, it's
and that makes me interested.
it's got a big pedigree to it. It's definitely got some brain power behind it, and that comes out October 20th for PCs and PS4s. Sean, do you care?
Yeah, I'm like,
You're
I'm watching
quiet
this
over there.
trailer and I'm like, I feel like there should be a smoking ad in here somewhere, like Joe Cool.
That's fair.
Like I said, I wish I could have the volume going up, but copyright being what it is, it actually has like this interesting, very space western soundtrack to it.
You can look
which
it
I
up.
think sets the
rebel-galaxy.com.
Very well. You'll see the link to the stuff down at the bottom if you're watching us on YouTube. But yeah, I just want to kind of give that game a quick shout out because I like what I saw. I saw it very briefly at PAX as well. So, no, not at PAX. It wasn't at PAX. Where did I see it at?
All right. You saw it from the internet, and then we talked about it, and now we're going to go to the next story where we go from a small game to a very big game.
And that is Minecraft Story Mode. That was going to release date October 13th. Quick turnaround. Those folks at Telltale Games. Essentially, if you don't know, Telltale is making a Minecraft game. So think Walking Dead, Game of Thrones, but with the Telltale treatment.
Wolf Among Us?
Wolf Among Us, which is a fantastic game as well. They haven't really done anything bad ever. And that's all I've really got to say about this. It was announced.
It's just funny because the
I felt I
graphics
should
in
bring it up.
The graphics in it remind me of all of the like YouTube Minecraft videos that you see.
Yeah.
Of, like people animating stuff. That's
Yeah, the
immediately
mockuments and stuff.
Yeah.
It's got Patton Oswalt in it, by the way. It actually has a pretty big star-filled cast. Yeah, Minecraft Story Mode. I mean, I wish I had more to go on it other than its release date, but there it is. As far we have people in chat asking about any news with Doom 4. No, not really. You'll probably hear more about it at QuakeCon when that. Hold on, QuakeCon already happened. That already happened, didn't it?
Didn't they scrap it?
I'm thinking of getting confused with which one. No, Doom 4 has not been scrapped. They rebooted it. It was originally
No,
that's
what I thought. They like scratched it and then they started again.
It was
so
going to be
it's
kind
probably
of
not coming out anytime soon.
It was going to be kind of Call of Duty Doom, and they didn't like the way that was going, so they completely blew that out and went back to straight Doom. And it looks good from what I've seen, but no new news with it. Not at least not anything since they did their big reveal for it.
It was like
a month or so back,
June or something. I think
give or take.
Somewhere months ago.
But yeah, that's Minecraft Story Mode coming out October 13th. Like I said, I wish I had more experience, more news for you, I should say, but wanted to at least give its announcement date if you didn't know it was coming. There it is. Something else that's coming is the Star Wars Battlefront beta. And
So who's not excited for Star Wars Battlefront?
Oh.
See how I gotcha? Burn.
it's going to be open to all. They announced
Or
on their
Battlefield
community
Star
blog.
Wars is the other thing we can call it.
They announced on their own little community blog that's coming out, Battlefield Community Update 4, and it goes on and on and on. But essentially, down at the bottom, it says, get ready for the beta release date soon, and that we're excited to say the beta is open to everyone.
Which
So,
is really cool. Now,
open beta.
was it Battlefield 4 that had just a ton of beta slots, or they let a lot of people into it, or just everybody into it?
Yes. And it's also
'Cause-
Battlefronts, you asshats.
We have
I
been
was
saying
talking-
Battlefield, haven't we?
Yes.
No, I was actually talking about Battlefield just now.
Yes, but I've been saying Battlefield, though.
Yeah, but you're
Yeah.
an idiot.
Yeah,
You
fair
did too,
enough.
though, because you said we'd even call it Battlefield Star Wars because you fucked it up the first time. Motherfucker.
Anyway, so the Battlefield 4 beta, I remember being pretty cool because a lot of people got into it, and then those servers were destroyed, and that I couldn't even play it because of poor optimization. But
Well, no one can still
because of
play it.
that, when Battlefield 4 came out, it actually ran pretty decently on a lot of machines. So they're probably going to try and get as many people in here because they're assuming that this game is going to sell like gangbusters, and they're going to try everything they can to break their server.
No way. I'm going to call you high to say that Battlefield 4 ran on PC servers because that game is still fucking busted for a lot of people.
That's
Well,
Origin.
I have a perfect array of shit.
Hey, for you, it might have worked just fine. And for me, it worked well. But
for
Battlefield
me.
4 has major,
Wait, hold up.
major
There's
connectivity
3 people
issues.
talking, and 3 people had no problems with it. That's 100%. That's a field study. Case closed. I was right. You're wrong. Sorry, bro.
Okay. you go post that opinion on the internet and see how long it takes before someone tries to argue with you. But then again, to be fair, it's the internet. That's going to happen regardless of what you post.
Yeah, and 80 people are going to be agreeing with me. I don't even know 80 people. I might.
You don't even have
probably
any
know.
friends.
Anyway,
yeah, that
I'll probably
sample
play
size,
that.
I agree
That's
with
exciting.
Look at Karma.
If you guys want to hang out in Battlefront, we'll play the beta.
I am looking forward to Star Wars Battlefront. However, no, actually, I can't.
I'm assuming voice chat is not going to work.
We're being asked
And that
your
you're
personal
going to be better off
opinion.
using TeamSpeak and such.
Your personal opinion. This is a question from chat, by the way. Thank you, SMB88. Your personal opinion on online play for Battlefront: Xbox, PlayStation, or PC?
Should we all
PC.
answer at once? Because
No, I think we all have the same answer. But Sean, why don't you go ahead and start?
PC.
Why?
Because it's
Yeah, you didn't
better.
expect a follow-up.
I don't...
David,
I have a follow-up. PC.
why?
64 players.
PC. I don't think the PC is going to be 64 players in Battlefront, though. I think it's capped at 32 as well. If they consolize
That's
it.
what you think, but just wait. Like 6 months into that game, there's going to be a 64-player map. It's going to happen.
I like a mouse and keyboard setup better for my first-person shooters, to be quite honest with you. Plus,
I don't even care about mouse and keyboard. I'm assuming that it's going to run better. It's going to have bigger servers. It's going to be able to have more stuff going on my computer.
That's why
Also, I have a
tend to go
980.
PC.
It's just going to look better.
So yeah, we're all PC people here as far as when the game comes out.
But the nice thing about PS4 and Xbox is when that game comes out, it'll probably just run. Like you'll just put the disc in, and it'll play.
That's true.
Whereas I'm going to probably be sitting in the options menu for 30 minutes
be
being like,
fucking
how do I
updating for
want,
2
do I want
hours, too.
VSync or what am I doing here?
By the way, when's the last time you turned on Origin? Because I highly recommend you update that like a week and a half before you get Battlefront.
Yeah,
It's
that's going to be rough.
Gonna be horrible.
Origin's the worst part.
I know.
Like,
I
I
hate
got
Origin back when they
so
gave
much.
Battlefield 4 or Battlefield 3 out for free. Whenever.
4.
I still can't add
that's
people to my
fucking
friends list on Origin. They have to add me.
Oh yeah,
just that
remember when
fucked
we were
up.
trying to play Titanfall and we had to
Titanfall.
keep remaking new accounts so that we could become friends with each other so we could play because your
Yeah.
friends list wouldn't load?
Friends list is fucked up. Origin's fucked up. At least it was. To be in its defense, I haven't logged on to Origin for any kind of multiplayer reason since Titanfall first came out, which is well over a year ago.
Yeah, that's a while ago.
But yeah, just put it all on Steam for the love of God and be done with it. But yeah, Star Wars Battlefront beta coming soon. We don't know when, but it's going to be open to all, so awesome for that. Something else that's kind of awesome that you're excited about there, David, is...
I'm pretty excited. Sean's excited,
Pokemon Go.
except he's doing something.
Yeah, Sean's done fucking wandered off somewhere, and I don't know where he's gone to.
Anyway,
I still
Pokemon
have
Go.
my headset on, you asshat.
Pokemon Go is a thing. Pokemon Go is an exciting thing. Now, if you don't know what Pokemon Go is, let me first tell you about a completely unrelated game called Ingress. And the reason I'm talking about Ingress is the guys that made that, Niantic? That sounds right. Are helping to make Pokemon Go with the Pokemon Studio, whoever that game or whoever those guys are.
In fact, the people at Polygon wrote a big old article about it, which I'll bring up right here for y'all.
Cool. So Ingress is a augmented reality game where it takes place in the real world, and there's different portals and factions, and you can fight for each other, and it's got this big sci-fi story, and you do things in real life in order to play the game with your phone, which, seems kind of interesting. Now take that concept and put Pokemon in it. So from what we understand at this point in time in Pokemon Go rather, is you're going to be wandering around and your phone's going to go off and you're going to have a Pokemon nearby. Or you walked in the tall grass, some kind of shit. And you can throw Pokeballs at it, try to capture Pokemon, build a team, trade with your friends, fight strangers on the internet with Pokemon on your phone. It's pretty much as close as we can get to actually having Pokemon in real life.
I want to pause you real quick in that while this can be done on cell phones, there's also this Fitbit looking accessory here with a big ass like Pokeball teardrop on it. You're gonna look ridiculous walking around with that thing on you.
You can also keep that attached to your belt or in your pocket. You don't have to wear it as on your wrist.
Also true.
Okay, it just reminded me of a Fitbit.
It actually doesn't even come with that strap. It's just by itself.
Oh, well, there you go then.
Yeah. But that
vibrates.
concept to me makes me excited just because of how well done Ingress was. I'm very, very high hopes for Pokemon Go. Can't wait. And I'm not even... The weird thing is I'm not even a big Pokemon fan. I honestly did not play a single Pokemon game before Pokemon Y.
You're just excited about what you get to do in this. You can care less that it has Pokemon in it. You just like the idea of tracking stuff down in like cities.
Dude,
yeah.
I'm excited for the stuff that's going to come out after this. It's going to use this fucking technology. That stuff I'm going to like. Monster Hunter.
It's the same thing.
Get on.
Oh,
See,
no,
I like
Monster
going-
Hunter. I'm thinking Monster
Hunter is
Rancher.
not
I'm
the
sorry.
same thing at
I
all.
got
You
confused
know-
I like
for a
going
second
outside.
Monster Rancher. I apologize.
You don't murder Pokemon and carve their parts off in the car.
For a split second,
However,
I was
want to
thinking
look at the
Monster
giant
Rancher.
Blastoise.
Residents in chat agrees with you guys, by the way. He's saying it looks ridiculously awesome. So
It does. If you guys don't know anything about Pokemon Go, just hop on the Googles, type in Pokemon and Go as 2 words, and read about it, and be excited with me, and then come play with me.
yeah, no word on exactly when it's coming. I don't think we have information on that yet. But
We have almost no
interesting.
information. There's a trailer that's just people running around, and it's got some
it's
things
a
going
proof of
on.
concept trailer for sure.
But the guys that make it make me believe.
Yeah, it definitely depends on how well it's going to work and how well it's going to just translate over to an American audience. But if you say that the Ingress guys have their shit down, then it could
That
be
game's
interesting to see.
that game's really big. Like honestly, a lot bigger than you think it is.
Free to play?
You start looking if you're looking into Ingress.
Free to play.
Yeah,
Will Pokemon Go be free to play?
nobody
I believe
knows.
so. I would completely assume so.
How do they make money off of it? Is there
Microtransactions.
advertising? Can you buy stuff?
Microtransactions.
Microtransactions? Did
Dude.
he design it?
Microtransactions.
All right. Well, there you go.
Can't stop them.
Yeah, that makes sense then for Nintendo to get into it. They've been saying they won't want to get into the mobile market for a while anyways, so there you go. In fact, they bought or they teamed up with some big Japanese mobile game company, if you remember, and they're going to start bringing stuff over. Can't remember their names. It's a story that we talked about a couple months ago. Go look it up on our archives at the YouTube channel.
That was a good story. I liked the beginning and middle and end of it.
Anyways, that kind of wraps it up for just basic news of the week. Let's go ahead and get some new releases here if this is going to work. All right. First off, the biggest release is probably FIFA 16 on PC, PS4, Xbox One, PS3, and 360. It's a soccer game. It's going to sell gangbusters in Europe and everywhere else that's not America.
Well, just keep in mind, it had to come out because Pro Evolution Soccer just came out.
Yeah, I mean, that's when they come out. They come out back to back. Remember back before EA bought up the exclusive NFL license? Madden and 2K NFL were always released either the same week or within a week apart.
And same with the NBA games. and
Yeah,
every
back
other
when
thing.
NBA games actually were being made.
Anyway,
was there a
the
new
game
I know Live isn't.
well, there's still new NBA games being made.
Okay. I just know Live's had some issues.
2K15. Next one will be
Anyway,
2K16.
Anyways,
Anyway, the way
Yeah,
more exciting
FIFA.
game for me in this list is going to be Soma.
Soma looks fantastic. This is Fractional Games' new joint. These are the guys that did Amnesia: The Dark Descent and the Pneumonia.
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 The Pneumonia. They made the
Pneumonia game.
This game looks like BioShock meets System Shock. Well, it's kind of funny because they're the same people.
Yeah.
It looks like System Shock meets Amnesia.
Yeah,
It
okay,
looks
I
so-
could buy that.
Great.
Underwater
All I know-
research and things went horribly wrong, and these games are always fucking terrifying. So if you're a fan of horror games, definitely take a look at it.
Oh yeah, I was trying to play Amnesia with one of my friends in the room, and the noises got too scary, and he ran away.
The noises got too scary.
I didn't even see anything yet. Of course, I saw something later, and I turned it off. And then
I was
started
in that
for like
room,
3 hours.
and my defense to stuff like that is just to start laughing.
But yeah, so we pretty
Fun
much
story. Side note on a game that just came out that people should actually pay more attention to. My mechanism for defense in horror games is just laugh. Like, I laugh at things. It diffuses the situation in a heartbeat. Until Dawn, that shit didn't work. Like, so you have to keep going forward. Like, it did not work.
yeah, I have to start yelling like I'm in an action movie. That's the only way I can keep going.
Come on!
The problem is that was me playing Metro, and I just kept dying. So I was like, "Oh, I can't deal with this!" Ah.
Why we brought up Until Dawn, the good news is apparently that's actually doing very well for Sony. So with any luck,
Yeah.
we'll see more of that style of game come out because I thought
Great
Until
game.
Dawn was fantastic.
Phenomenal game. I got really lucky in my first playthrough.
Yeah,
Everyone
you
lived.
got away with everyone living.
Except for one thing.
I technically lost 2 people in it until the very end when it's like flick the switch or wait. So I was like, I'm gonna fucking flick the switch, and then horrible
Yeah.
things happen. I'm like, oh wait, no.
I have to ask you, because I texted you this.
No
you barricade
spoilers.
the
I'm trying to
door?
be very.
No, this
I
isn't a
did
spoiler.
barricade the door, yes, but I know what happens if
welcome.
you don't barricade the door, and that's just.
Yeah, and
worse.
I'm pissed.
Oh, did you not barricade the door?
That's what I'm saying. The only thing that happened in that game that I didn't do right was that, and I would murder everyone to change that one.
It's so irrelevant too. It's not like that has any major bearing on anything.
Nothing on the
storyline.
but I'm so mad.
Having to speak in vigarities because this game is still relatively
Brand
new. I do want to start doing some spoiler cast stuff while we're on this topic, so maybe once every few weeks or so we get together and we can talk about Until Dawn for like 20 minutes.
Dude,
and
I can talk about spoilers for a game that I've never been able to beat with saving any number of people.
Go on.
It's a game about saving people, and it's SOS. One of the hardest fucking Super Nintendo games of all time.
It's because the
hate
controls are ass. Anyways, we're still talking about new releases, not stuff from the past. Final Fantasy V.
Final Fantasy. We're still talking about new releases.
Is coming out on PC this week.
1993.
A port of a port of a port. And if you like
Final
Fantasy V, go for it. It does that weird art style they did for 4 that a lot of people didn't care too much for, and I don't like either. So
also,
although quick
the class system, and actually, a lot of people's favorite Final Fantasy.
A lot of people
Who thinks that they're going to screw it up and they're going to do what they did to 7, and they're going to use the anthology version of this game, right?
Which was
it's going to have random loading all the time, and they're going to use the MIDI music so it sounds like shit. What do you want to bet?
That's what they're going to do. No, actually, I take that back. This is done up in the style of Final Fantasy IV when they did the DS release of that. So it actually
so it's
looks
just a part of that game.
It's probably going to be part of that game.
Gotcha.
You know what's funny is we were talking about if they make basketball games, but apparently NBA 2K16 comes out, and I have to write in my notes right fucking here for everything PS3, PS4, PC, 360,
because I bothered to read.
I just straight up, I said 2K16.
Motherfucker, I'm the one that typed it. I typed this in my goddamn show notes, and I completely forgot about it.
I even said it.
This is why we can't have nice things.
No. Rounding out new releases this week is Blood Bowl 2 on PC, PS4,
which looks so sick. Okay, has anyone played Blood Bowl seriously?
I not the computer game version, but I played like the old school Games Workshop one.
Like the card version?
No, there was an actual like Blood Bowl game.
Board game.
So Blood Bowl on PC is stupid fun if you have any interest at all in the Warhammer franchise.
It's Warhammer Fantasy with Mutant League football.
Yeah, and it's so great. It's turn-based football with Warhammer characters, including factions. So, I mean, you can play as goblins, and you can play as humans, and you can play as
the phrase
Amazonians.
Turn-based football in itself
is
a contradiction in terms.
I'm sorry. I like roaming onto the field with an orc in the middle that just grabs the football and walks forward because no one could take his ass down.
But yeah, that does it of the new releases of note. Of course, as always, there are a shit ton of new releases every week on Steam. Go take a look if you want. I only cover the ones that are major or ones that we have interest in. We're going to go ahead and move on to esports at this time, and we're going to kick off with talking about something that's near and dear to your heart, David, and that is the new Rocket League expansion.
So
DLC,
it's not really expansion, more DLC. This isn't exactly esports because the Rocket League matches that happened fairly recently. I don't think there's anything new going on right this second, but they did announce the new DLC, Revenge of the Battle Cars, which I'm stoked for. If you are not aware, Rocket League is a sequel to the game Supersonic Acrobatic Rocket-Powered Battle Cars, one of my favorite PS3 games. And this new DLC is going to include 2 of the vehicles from the original game, and they're pretty entertaining if you want to go take a look. Also new customization, antennas, wheels, paint jobs, yada yada. The cool thing is there's also going to be free updates that come along with this DLC, just like they did the last one. So when this is added to the game, everyone gets a little bit of something because there's going to be variations of some of the maps, and there's going to be new community flags and other stuff like that. So that should be pretty cool. They also mentioned when they talked about this, that when they update the maps, it's going to be the last time they do any regulation-style maps for a while. So if you're not aware, with the old game, there was a lot of crazy maps that are U-shaped, an actual like hockey rink almost, where you can go behind the goal, things like that. So it should be pretty cool. It's probably going to be $4 or $5. I'll throw in my money just because I like the company. And that's it for Rocket League.
All right. Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be mainly cosmetic, but it's cool. I'm actually surprised how big of a legitimate tournament scene this game has going on.
It's so fun.
Just out of nowhere, too. It just... boom, it's there.
It was announced properly. It was marketed right. It was released at a good price point, and I really think that doing the PlayStation Plus release and making that free for a bunch of people was a great idea because it got it out there, and now you can't put it down. Once you start playing Rocket League, you can't put it down. It's too fun. With 5-minute matches, you can just hop in and out all day.
Resident says Kronovi is love, Kronovi is life. I have no idea what Kronovi is.
Go watch some competitive Rocket League.
Okay. Yeah, okay then. Speaking of other competitive games, Sean.
Hey-o.
We got some league stuff going on.
World Championships.
That's a thing that's happening.
Group stages or groups were drawn, so there 16 teams have been decided in which pools they're going to be in. I want to go over some of these real quick. The tournament starts October 1st at 10 a.m. October 1st at 10 a.m.
10
Group
a.m.
A.
What?
Eastern time.
Okay. We're a global show. People watch us from all over the world. We have to keep the stuff straight.
That was a legit question. I think it's Eastern time. I think the website shows whatever time zone you're in, so this should be Eastern. So groups are drawn, groups breakdowns. I just want to go over the teams that made it into said groups, in which 2 teams I think will make it out of these groups of 4. So there's 4 groups of 4. Top 2 make it out. So Group A, Pain Gaming, which is Brazil's seed, so the international wildcard 1. Coup Tigers, which is Korea's Korea seed number 2. Flash Wolves, which is Southeast Asia's 2nd seed. And Counter Agent Gaming, North America's 1st seed. So, this is a really good group for Coup Tigers, because I believe they're going to get out at 1st. 2nd seed, though, Counter Agent Gaming is going through some problems right now where their jungler couldn't get a passport, so he's probably not going to be able to play in the actual tournament, so they're using a backup.
Wait. Do we have any information on why he couldn't get a passport? Like, where is he from?
I'm sure they have a reason. I'm pretty sure he's from America.
It's kind of weird.
Like that intrigues me.
Well, it's a visa. Excuse me, not a passport. Visa.
Okay. That's a little bit more of explanation. So he couldn't get into the country.
Correct.
I wonder if he has some weird felony on his account. I'm serious. Where's this being held at?
He's not a football player. Settle down.
It's all over Europe.
Okay. Because
Paris, Berlin, London, Brussels.
Well, for example, some countries won't let you in if you have a pop bust on your record.
Yeah, I don't know, but he can't get in. Xmethi can't get in, so they have a backup jungler who's normally mid. So I would say they probably get out, but I'm giving it to Flash Wolves for 2nd seed. So Coup Tigers number 1. Coup Tigers created the Juggernaut comp. Also in the tournaments that the patch they're playing during the tournament is going to be the 5.18. Which 5.16 was the Juggernaut expansion, like the Juggernaut patch. So top lane is going to be kind of the ideal position to be good at here. And if you don't have a good top laner, I don't see you doing well at Worlds.
When did 5.18 come out?
5.18 just came out.
Just came out, okay.
Yes. So Smeb, their top laner, 1, he's phenomenal. And 2, it's a carry top lane meta. So I really think they're going to do well in this group. They should get number 1. If they don't, it's going to be a disappointment. And I'm actually going to put my money on Flash Wolves getting out 2nd.
All right.
Group B, Cloud9 with their miraculous gauntlet run of
from 7th seed
North
to
America
Worlds.
Sticks, basically.
We talked about that a couple of weeks ago, if I recall. How they just ran it.
Gauntlet.
Yeah.
I don't even keep track of
almost got knocked out
but
twice.
Damn, that was impressive.
Yeah. AHQ Esports Club, the number 1 seed from Southeast Asia.
Like that name, by the way. Sounds classy.
Invictus Gaming is the number 3 seed from China. And Fnatic Gaming, the number 1 seed from Europe. So this is a really interesting bracket. So go ahead and count Cloud9 out. 1, Balls has been in a slump since last Worlds. Not a great player right now. They have High in the Jungle, their ex-mid laner, who retired, came back. He's a great shot caller. If he gets past 40 minutes, they might have a chance against some of these teams, maybe AHQ, but without a good top laner, without just a solid team, they're not going to get out of groups. I can't see them beating all 3 of these teams. I'm going to say Invictus Gaming is number 1 because Cacao, the jungler, is the best jungler in this tournament, period. I'm really sad he didn't go to Worlds last year. This dude is just impressively good mechanically. If you want to watch a jungler just destroy people, watch Cacao. Great jungler. I have them coming out number 1. Now, the hard part is deciding between Fnatic and AHQ. Last time we saw AHQ, they beat... What was that?
I'm going with Fnatic. I can't not.
Yeah, we've established that you're like a fanboy for
them. David's a Fnatic fan. I like Fnatic too, and apparently they've been screaming really well. However, AHQ, last time we had an international tournament, actually beat Fnatic. So, we'll see how this goes. That being said, AHQ's top laner, he's decent. They put a lot of the gold to the mid laner in Westdoor. Plays just a ridiculous fizz. He's out of the meta right now, so we'll have to see how he plays these more assassin-y control type mages mid. I guarantee you he'll play Fizz even though it's out of meta. That's just what he does.
That's fine. If you're good enough on somebody.
Invictus Gaming number 1, Fnatic number 2. Group C, we got the Bangkok Titans, which is the international wildcard number 2, aka the 16th seed in the tournament. Edward Gaming, China seed number 2. H2K, Europe seed number 2. And SK Telecom 1.
I wonder who Sean's going to pick to win in Group C. I think he's going to pick the Bangkok Titans.
This group right here is probably the easiest to pick. It's going to be SK Telecom and Edward Gaming 1 and 2. That being said, I don't know. But it's going to be one of those two. I have SK Telecom winning the tournament, so I'm actually going to say SK Telecom is going to be second in this. Edward Game is going to be number 1. But I think SK Telecom is going to be the team that wins the tournament because they're better in best of 5s.
You think they're going to be the one that goes all the way?
Yeah, and I'll go back to this group after talking about Group D. So Group D is Origin, or as they call it, Orion, which is European's 3rd seed. Team Solo Mid. Okay, so I have to say I love this group, first of all, because it's Origin's Europe's 3 seed, Team Solo Mid, North America's 2 seed, KT Rolster, Europe's 3 seed, and LGD Gaming, China's 1 seed. So,
I wonder how that's going to go.
I have a bet with actually 2 people going on right now that Team Solo Mid will not win a single game in this group.
Really?
That is harsh. Yeah. Super harsh.
The only chance they have is splitting with Origin, period. Like, KT Rolster should roll over them pretty easy. I have LGD coming out number 1, KT Rolster coming out number 2. KT Rolster is playing really well right now. I really like to see that team actually do well. It's their first time at Worlds, even though they deserved to be here in 2013. They were the second best team in the world at the time. They weren't even at Worlds. But LGD is famous for having Imp on the team. He was the world champion from last year's tournament. So he moved from Samsung White to LGD Gaming.
How angry do you think TSM was when they actually saw this roster come out?
Oh, this group?
Yeah.
I mean, the fans probably still... the fans do still think they're going to get out of here because they're idiots. So,
harsh.
Super
harsh.
If you're a TSM fan and like you think you're going to get out of this group, you don't pay attention to League of Legends at all.
Or you only pay attention to like whatever specific conference that you like and where you're
North
living
America.
At. Yeah.
And that's the problem with Westerners right now, is we're idiots. So here's the thing. The tournament breaks down this way. So it's the top 2 seeds from groups. The 1 seeds, once you get to quarterfinals, it's a bracket stage. The 1 seeds from groups can't play the 2 seeds. And you can't face the same team from your bracket anywhere on your side of the bracket until finals. That means in Group C, we have SK Telecom and Edward Gaming, 2 of the top 3 teams in the tournament, meaning they can't face each other until the finals.
Which is kind of, I don't know if it, I think it's one of those cases where it's just limited by the fact that there's only 16 people.
Well, it's great the way this tournament is because of the fact that those 2 are in the same bracket. Because now we're going to have a good finals one way or another. Because the top 3 are going to be LGD, Edward Gaming, SK Telecom. Now, that sucks for LGG because that means they have to face 2 of these teams if it works out to plan. Because LGD has to face one of the teams that can't be on the side of the bracket and then the next team in the finals, if that makes sense.
They essentially have to go up against two of the hardest.
Yes. So the way they did it, LGD is kind of getting fucked here, but that means there's a really good chance of a really great finals between SK Telecom and Edward Gaming, or Edward Gaming versus LGD, or SK Telecom versus LGD. It's going to be a mix of those like 4 scenarios, or it's going to be just like it's going to be the best finals in any world tournament, I think.
All right.
So I'm pretty excited.
That's all I really want out of it. I mean, like, everyone has teams and everyone wants to see their team win, but really what I want is I want to see a world finals where the semifinals or the, like, wherever somewhere in the brackets has the best game of the season. I don't want that. I want to see finals where it's actually a straight up throwdown. Because, I mean, last year, I'm not going to lie, the finals were boring as shit. Like, I don't want to see a team get steamrolled at the highest level of competitive play.
It's been boring for the last 2 years because the Korean teams have just shit on everyone since.
Is this a direct result of how boring it's been the past few years?
Kinda. Now, what's happened though, like the reason this tournament won, the talent is so much more spread apart. Because last year going to Worlds, I predicted the team winning Worlds a month ahead of time. It was that easy. Samsung White was just so much more dominant than everyone. However, with China buying out so many players from Korea, they spread the talent apart so much that the decent Korean teams are in this tournament, and now you have Faker with like it's basically Faker and the Goong Squad versus like parts of Samsung White and parts of Samsung Blue. So you're getting 3 teams that have a really good chance, 2 teams that have a dark horse chance, and then a whole bunch of teams that are like
it's wild.
I'll say shit, but they're even enough that like the group stages are going to be fun to watch.
I get that's fair.
And if I have to have a dark horse, like because LGD, Edward Gaming, and SK Telecom are the clear favorites to be the top 3 teams in the tournament. My dark horse, if I have to pick one, is gonna be Invictus Gaming. I said this last week too, or 2 weeks ago.
Sounds good. Anything else you want to add to this, Sean, before we go ahead and move on to HOTS?
Whole nother place to go.
Nope.
All right. If you just keep in mind, this all starts October 1st. It is 10 a.m. Eastern, it sounds like.
7 Pacific.
7 Pacific. If you live somewhere else in the world, type it in Google.
Or if it helps,
just
it starts in 9 days, 9 hours, 57 minutes, and 10 seconds.
Yeah, go to worlds.esports.com. Couldn't say that for some reason. Anyways, one final bit of esports to wrap things up, and that's the Heart of the Swarm, Heroes of the Storm World Championships.
Everyone does it.
Road to BlizzCon. So, if you're not aware, the American Championship for Heroes of the Storm just happened this last weekend. It was actually on Saturday and Sunday. Some really cool Heroes of the Storm play if you're into that kind of thing. I don't want to give too much away because the final match is actually really good. So if you at all like Heroes of the Storm, go check out the finals with Cloud9 and Tempo Storm throwing down and see how that plays out.
The Korean one just ended 2 days ago, and that's actually still recorded on OnGameNet's Twitch channel, twitch.tv/OnGameNet. So if you go to their past broadcasts, the finals, I believe it's
that's
MVP
on GameNet, not
yes,
on GameNet.
On GameNet.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure because it can be kind of confusing.
Anyway, the American Championship is rounded up. The Chinese is done. Now Taiwan, Europe, and Korea still need to finish, I believe. I think Korea's still going.
Correct.
And then
all
of this is going to lead up into the global finals, which are actually going to take place at BlizzCon. So something to look forward to if you like Heroes of the Storm.
Which I do. That's my favorite of the MOBA pack. It's the one I can actually understand compared to other ones. But yeah, that's the one that if I had to pick would be the one I watch. Anyways, anything else you guys want to add before we wrap it up, or is that going to do it today?
Before we wrap it up, I'm just going to say if I don't see Earl Stoke dressed up as a gym leader outside of his house when Pokemon Go comes out, I'm going to be really upset. I'm just going to ride my bike in inappropriate places and hoping people stop me.
Oh, see, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide in bushes and jump out at people that walk by and then immediately talk about how I like to wear shorts because they're comfy and easy to move in.
And then I'll be behind you with a guitar, so when the battle happens, I'll play that like battle sound.
Yeah. of all this, that's the takeaway.
I
Pokemon
wish
Go is
I
gonna
had
be
something clever
ridiculous.
to add, but I don't.
You don't.
Watch out for bushes. Watch out for shady places, because me and Sean are coming for your ass.
Just Oh man, we're gonna get arrested.
Magikarp use Splash.
It was super effective.
This has been Game Points. Thanks for joining us. We are live every Monday at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time at Twitch TV/GamePoints, where you can pop in, join the conversation. We try to mention you when you get in there. If you want to follow us live on Twitter, you can go follow us at GamePointsPC. You can email the show at GamePointsPC@gmail.com. You can give us a like at Facebook at the Game Points Podcast. Type it in right there, and that's also where you want to go if you want to see if we're delayed for any reason. If you like the show and can't watch it Mondays at 8 p.m., or if you just want to watch all of our previous episodes, you can catch us at our YouTube channel. Just type in Game Points, one word, and it pops right up there. You can also see my Game Points Present series on there, where I occasionally play a game, and there's 2 of them up right now. We also have the Court of the Disco King on there, where it's a Sean kind of breaks down some League commentary if you want to listen to him explain some League a bit. You can follow us all individually. I am, of course, Steven Brown. You can follow me at my Twitter, CapitalistPig21. You can follow Sean Brown at Disco_King. He also streams at the same moniker if you want to give him a shot. And you can check out David Smith at Palshife_Satori. He doesn't stream or tweet, but give him a follow and a like and all that good stuff. Anyways, once again, thanks for watching. If you're watching us live, if you're watching on YouTube, feel free to give us a like and type a comment down below. And once again, thanks. This has been Game Points, and we are out of here.